Hey everyone, welcome to the channel where we talk about all things movies. Welcome especially if you're new. If you enjoy talking about movies and staying up to speed on what's in theaters and what's worth checking out, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my reviews. Alright, with that we're going to jump into this review, which is for Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank. So I saw this yesterday. I'm recording it today, so I'm about half a day removed, but got back very late from seeing a double feature. So just had a little bit more time. It's not as fresh of a reaction as I normally do, which is as soon as I get home. But so we'll just jump right on in. So in this movie, Hank, a lovable dog with a head full of dreams about becoming a samurai, sets off in search of his destiny. So I've seen some of the trailers for this film. I wasn't really too sold by any of them. It didn't look like my type of movie necessarily, but went to check it out as a new movie. So let's jump right on in. This will be a spoiler review to talk about some of the things very specifically, but to give you just kind of an overview or kind of my general assessment of the film. I personally didn't really care for the film. It was very meh, but I think it's a good kids film. I think the kids in the auditorium that were there when I went to see the film, they seemed to enjoy it. There were a lot of laughs throughout from them. I just didn't personally enjoy it. So I think if you're looking for a good family film to take kids to, this is probably worth the watch. But for me personally, recommending this to other adults where you're not going with any kids, I wouldn't recommend it. I found it fairly boring. But with that, we'll get into the specifics. So here starts the spoiler warning. You've been warned. So things that I didn't like about the film. Most of everything I have to say is things I didn't like. We'll end with the one thing that I did like, just so we have a little bit of positivity in there. But overall, I thought so much of this film didn't make sense. So nothing against anybody who worked on this film. Please don't take this personally. I just mean this as a form of critique as somebody who's reviewing the film. So I thought the story overall made basically no sense. I don't know how that got through like the review and writing process to get to the point where somebody actually greenlit it to be a film. There's just so many inconsistencies or things that don't make sense where I wasn't having any fun at all. So that was just at the forefront of my mind. So like for example, at the end of the film, when they're protecting the town, their plan for defense is to blow it all up when all of the mercenaries come to attack them. How does that make any sense? So your idea to save the town is to blow it up yourself. Like that doesn't make any sense. I just didn't get that part. And then in the final, like towards the end, like the final duel between Hank and the villain, at one point Hank has both swords, and then he just tosses a sword back to the villain to continue their sword fight. Like, why would you give him a weapon again? That made absolutely no sense. And then Hank just in general goes from being a completely incapable samurai to like overnight, oh, I've like learned a few things and I can now beat a ton of people. Like he ramps up way too fast and unexplainably. I get that he like has to kind of recommit to it in the middle after he goes and has his night of fun, but that doesn't mean that he just suddenly has the skills to be a samurai and beat mercenaries and stuff like that. Like that didn't make any sense. And then like I didn't really get what the whole point of the toilet was, but like on top of that, there was way like the amount of water that overflowed from that to then go and potentially drown the town made no sense that it'd be that much water. I just don't really get it. And then the villain being like mad at the town because it was disrupting his view. Like I'm like, what view is there? I could see if it was. I did not really get his point. Why was he even going after the town? It didn't make sense that he was so open in the end to like he's like the whole film he's like, hey, we got to get rid of the town, but they can't know it's me. And then he's like, fine, we'll just send mercenaries at him. And he gets, I guess, to his breaking point. But, like, I thought there was a whole reason for him to not be connected to it, which is the Shogun would find out and not be happy. So I don't know what changed on that front for him to just be like, well, I guess the Shogun can know it now, but I'm just going to send people directly from me and get it tied back to me. So, like, I thought that didn't make any sense. So there's a lot in the movie like that. And then as far as the humor goes, it was, yeah, directed solidly at like 5-year-olds in my opinion. It was a lot of puns, way too many puns. There's like breaking the fourth wall, which I think they thought felt clever, but was just way overdone and not really funny. And then just a bunch of like potty humor. So it was, yeah, like none of it was clever in my opinion. It's not my type of humor. I like sarcasm, like dry humor, dark humor, things like that. Not what they had in this movie. So that, and then like none of the characters were very interesting. Like Hank as a character, I didn't particularly like. I also didn't like the old samurai. Other than that, like I mean, how can you not like Samuel L. Jackson in any form? But like other than that, I didn't care for his character. And then just some other things. Like it felt very like you had the stereotypical. We're 2/3 of the way through the movie. The hero's down. We're just gonna do a montage with some sad music over the top. Nobody talking. The hero's just kind of walking around, and by the end, he discovers himself. Like we've seen that a million times before. And then the animation here again. Nothing against anybody personally, but the animation did not feel like movie worthy in the year 2022. It felt very much like the quality of animation that should be on kids shows on TV or on a streaming service, and is nowhere near on par the things that the other studios are putting out like DreamWorks and Pixar and Disney Animation. So Sony is another big one. Like they all do top-notch work, but this felt like something I was watching from Saturday morning cartoons as far as the quality of animation. But the one thing I did like about the film was Emiko. She was the little girl who wanted to be a samurai. She was really cute, and I thought she had the best character in the film. And it was, yeah, I liked how she said the word samurai. I don't even think I can do it, but it was with the like I don't know. It's just the way she said it. That was yeah, very very cute for the character. But I liked her character. I liked that she became the samurai in the end, and that was like the one highlight of the film. But yeah, overall, this is not a film that I enjoyed. It is a solid C for me, and kind of on the lower end of C. Like it wasn't just meh. I slightly disliked it. But that's just me personally. Again, I think this is a film that kids would enjoy. So if you're looking for a film like that, I think it's worth taking them to, and they'll probably enjoy it. But it just wasn't for me. At the end of the day, this was just a big pun fest. It felt like a sort of thing that belongs with Saturday morning cartoons, which you get some good Saturday morning cartoons, but the whole point of Saturday morning cartoons is you're a kid, you got nothing better to do than sit inside on a Saturday morning, and yeah, nothing better to spend your time on, so it's just going to be this kind of mediocre cartoon content that isn't really all that entertaining, but hey, what else are you going to do? So that's how I would describe this film, at least from my point of view on it. If you had a chance to see it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Did you enjoy it? Am I just being too overly critical? I mean, I think everyone's entitled to your own opinion. So I think I didn't enjoy this very much, so I certainly hope other people enjoy it more. And if you did, yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. So with that, if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming reviews. And yeah, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video.